Hi again. Welcome to Art of the Budget. My name is Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish Nations. Today I'm doing a budget plan. This is for August 2021, and if you're new here, I use an app called Every Dollar. It's a Dave Ramsey app. Dave Ramsey, I'm not a fan, but this app works really well for the way I do my budget, which is basically a monthly budget, and then I log my transactions every week. So I do a budget plan, log those transactions every week to be able to just make sure I'm staying on budget or notice if I'm going over budget. And then at the end of the month, I do a reconciliation where I square everything away and make sure it all makes sense. So let's go ahead and look at August 2021 budget plan. I'm starting with my base income, and for anyone who's new here, my base income is my full-time job where I'm a studio technician for an art department at a college, and then this also gets bundled up with my extra pay for adjunct teaching at the same school. And then I guess actually I don't really have any other jobs, but I guess in theory I do have my own small ceramics business, so that is another source of income, but right now I'm not really paying myself. So that's one of my goals for 2020 is to start paying myself actually. So then that will go there once I start doing that. That'll be another income source. Okay, so anyway, I guess I don't really talk about that much. So FYI, in case anyone didn't know, there are a few small business videos back in the past, but I haven't done one in a while, but I am working on that. So they are sprinkled throughout. Anyway, I do budget 1 month ahead. Wait, I budget with the money this month in August that I made last month in July in this case. And so I do know exactly what it is, but I still like just budget off of a round number and I give myself a little bit of a cushion. Yeah, I am the kind of person that like sets my clock in on my stove 10 minutes ahead or something. I'm just that kind of person. I need these things in my life. It's funny because I do budget down to the penny for everything else, but like when I'm making my plan, I like to give myself a buffer. Okay, so as usual, I will be sharing $150. This is just sharing my income with organizations or people that I think are cool or doing cool things or that I just want to share my income with for whatever reason. I also try to do this is about 2% of my base pay to art. So this is like local artists or really like local creatives of all sorts. And I guess I forgot to say that this base income, if I was not on a teaching contract at all, it would be around $3,000. But because I'm on a teaching contract for one of the pay periods last month, that is why it's $3,500. So it's a little more. You'll see next month it will be around $3,000. I actually just increased one of my retirement contributions, so I think it will actually end up being a little less than $3,000, but we will see. Anyway, I'm gonna do a little $50 to my emergency fund. I'm just trying to boost that up a little bit right now. I don't really know why. I think because I feel like I'm always putting money into sinking funds, and sinking funds are designed in large part to eventually be spent. So it feels like I have savings, but then it will eventually be spent. I'll talk about my sinking funds later. But yeah, so I'm just adding a little, I'm just going to try to add $50 a month just for funsies into my emergency fund. Okay, savings, this is basically, it won't be $8.44. It's more like $5, but this is usually the interest I earn. And for some strange reason, I put that all in a little savings account. I don't know. Well, I do know why. It's because my old bank just automatically did that. And I'm not with that bank anymore. They don't exist anymore. But I like that idea, so I'm just going to keep it going. As usual, I would do my $500 to my Roth IRA. Rent is $1,100. Electricity, I plan for $40. For my phone, I guess because I was traveling, I'm not really sure what happened because I don't think I was so close to going over while I was traveling at the beginning of July, but I went over, and so I got charged a little extra for data, and actually $30 extra, so I got charged for data twice. This is not a big deal to me. My phone company does offer unlimited, but I'm so rarely not surrounded by Wi-Fi that I just prefer to pay the overage if I go over. It's so occasional, and it's typically when I'm traveling, so not a big deal to me. I didn't plan for it, but I didn't plan for it, but thankfully your bill comes a month later. Anyway, it worked out. Okay, moving right along. Groceries, we're doing 200. Restaurants, I'm going to keep it at 100. Try to be a little more mindful this month. I did have a lot of fun social stuff last month. Don't regret spending over budget, but I'm going to try to keep it to 100. All right, household, I'm budgeting 50. Kittles, as always, they get their 125 for food, litter, etc. Gas, I'm budgeting at 150 because I am traveling and I'm going to be doing some camping this month. I am not like traveling out of state or anything, but I'm just going to be driving around the state a bit more. So I'm going to do 150 and hopefully I'll come in under, but I'd rather plan it out. Okay, car registration, that's already paid for the month. In a few months, when I pay it, I'll start doing like a sinking fund kind of situation again, but just due to the way I did my yearly budget, it's already paid for. Fun, I'm going to do $100. Auto, I'm doing 105. I actually just brought my auto insurance back up to like normal mileage. I had gotten a pretty big discount and brought it down to very low mileage during the big quarantine time of COVID. Though we are still very much in the clutches of COVID, I am personally going to work every day. Pretty much no one else is there at this time, so it's very, very safe and I feel very comfortable. But anyway, yeah, I'm driving more often. So I went ahead and put my insurance back. Okay, so now let's talk about, and renter's insurance. It's already paid up through the year, and then once I pay it, which I think it's maybe this month. So in September, I'll start doing a bit each month toward it. Okay, so let's talk about sinking funds. My health fund, I forgot to do an FSA this year. A couple of years ago, I changed my health insurance, and so I actually don't have a therapy copay, which is my main way that I use my health insurance and my main reason for not wanting to do like a HSA and a high deductible account, because I really love accessing therapy. But with the insurance that I changed to, it was cheaper and there was no therapy copay. I do occasionally have copays for other things, like, I don't know. Actually, I had one recently. It was like $20 for, I think I got my tetanus shot. Anyway, so I just want to make sure I have a little bit of money in there. And plus, I've been doing little coaching sessions that have been supplementing my therapy, and those are a little more expensive. So I'm just making sure I can cover those. And we'll see how much longer I do them. They've been really amazing and really helpful. I talk about them in another video. Cat fund. This month has been pretty unexciting, but I have had a lot of cat health stuff during this like COVID time. So I'm really trying to keep this emergency fund beefed up. In my dream world, I have like $5,000 that just sits there waiting for my cats to need anything. But in reality, if I can keep this above $1,000 most of the time, it makes me feel comfortable and safe, and like I can take good care of my pets. Car upkeep / replacement is another thing I would love to have a bunch of money in. But again, if I can keep it over $1,000, that does make me feel really happy. So I'll be putting $54.79. Anytime there's a weird number like that, it's just like whatever was left over. So $250 to health, $200 to cat fund, $54.79 to car upkeep. I'm doing $75 to upcoming travel. I'm doing camping, so it's not going to be expensive. But I know that because I'm a month ahead, a lot of my fall paychecks will be that lower amount of not having a teaching contract. And I do hope, we'll see what happens on the COVID front, but I'm really hoping I'll be able to go home in December like I normally do, home to my warm, sunny hometown. And so I just want to make sure that doesn't get too low. I do usually use points these days to pay for my flight. So yeah, this is mostly just for incidentals, and I do like to have a rental car when I go home. So Yeah, 75 there. We'll see what happens. And then 10 to serotonin boost and 10 to education. And that's it. That's it for me. Student loans are still on forbearance. I do public service loan forgiveness, so I am getting credit for that. Those are due to start again in October, and I'm really interested to see if they continue it. If you're someone who has federal loans who's not paying right now, either because you're in public service loan forgiveness and it doesn't make sense to pay, or because you're just saving that cash and doing one lump sum when they start interest again, let me know if you think they're gonna extend the forbearance or not. Of course, I'm hoping they do, but we'll see what happens. In another video, I mentioned that I had started the very preliminary steps of buying a house. So it seems like actually if I were to move forward with that, which just to be honest seems really unrealistic because it's a crazy market. And frankly, it was already a crazy market when I moved to this town 6 years ago. But anyway, I would have to take them out. So, I'm kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but it definitely is really helpful. It has really helped me fill my sinking funds and do some of that saving and help kind of, like, especially in 2020, helped kind of make up for the fact that my cats required so much care, which of course costs so much money. But anyway, enjoying it while it lasts. That's me. That's my August 2021. Let me know down below if you've got anything exciting planned for August, and I will see you in the next video.